Our group looked at the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. Oppression was a major theme in the poem, and Maya Angelou effectively uses literary conventions to show that she was able to rise above this theme of oppression. We will now break down the poem step by step.
In the first stanza, Maya Angelou establishes the rhyme scheme of A, B, C, B, which follows throughout the rest of the poem. Also, she effectively uses imagery and simile with this imagery to portray the oppression she goes through and how she rises up. It says, "You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise." This dirt and the trotting creates the image of someone who is oppressed or kicked down, but saying that by comparing herself to dust, it's saying how she's able to come out of this dirt and become better because of it.
The second stanza starts off with two questions, showing that the speaker is questioning the oppression that she faces and challenging the people who are oppressing her. The simile in the last two lines of the stanza show that the speaker is still confident even though she's being oppressed.
In the third stanza, Angelou uses similes to show that there is no doubt that she will rise above all the oppression. Just like moons and like suns and like tides, they will rise every day consistently with no stop, and she will also spring high, just like the hopes of all other people like her. She will no doubt rise above the oppression.
In the fourth stanza, Angelou again uses the syntax of questions to show how she's challenging her oppression. But this time she also uses imagery and similes along with these questions to show the extent of the oppression she's facing. She writes, "Bowed head and lowered eyes." Oh, no. "Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lower eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries." And so by using these questions, she's showing that she's challenging what this oppression is going to do to her. And by comparing her shoulders to teardrops, she's showing how this oppression is difficult.
Stanza 5 is very similar to stanza 3, where it starts off with two questions challenging the oppression that she faces. And the last two lines in the stanza have a simile, talking about how she walks, or in this stanza laughs, like she has a lot of money, even though we know that she doesn't. And this shows her confidence again and her ability to challenge the oppression that she faces.
In the next stanza, Angelou uses a repetition of the phrase "you may," followed by oppressive statements, to almost challenge the reader to use oppression against her, because just like air, she will rise above it. She uses a simile like air to show that she will rise above all the oppression, as she has done throughout the poem. And a repetition of the phrase "I'll rise" is starting to develop. She wants to make that a major theme, that she will rise above the oppression, and you will see that continues throughout the rest of the poem.
In the seventh stanza, again, we see Angelou use the syntax of questions to challenge this oppression once again, and then she brings it back with a simile to assure that she will overcome this oppression by saying that she still has confidence, and regardless of the situation and who is standing out against her. She says that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs. And so this is implying that even if she isn't necessarily rich, she carries herself as though she is still important and high up, and that is because she counters whatever oppression comes her way.
The eighth stanza starts off with the allusion to slavery, as the speaker says, "from a past that's rooted in pain," alluding to slavery, but she says that she will rise out from the painful past. And then in the last two lines, there's a metaphor comparing the speaker to a black ocean, and this gives off the message of being powerful, as an ocean is usually associated with power, and this shows that she will be able to overcome the oppression that she faces.
In the last paragraph, Angelou leaves the reader knowing that without a doubt she will rise above the oppression, with the repetition of the phrase "I rise." She even ends the poem with three consistent uses of "I rise" to fully ingrain that in the reader's mind. When she says "into a daybreak that's wondrously clear," she uses imagery interspersed with the repetition of "I rise" to depict a picture of the prosperity that she and all oppressed people like her will see when they rise above, when they fight for their freedom. And she uses a metaphor to say that I am the dream and the hope of the slave, comparing herself to a dream and hope. She will inspire people and herself to fight through the oppression and to rise above that. And it is this last portion of the poem that fully establishes that fact, that she will rise above. Yeah.